Hello and welcome to Family by Nature. My name is Douglas Nimo, and today I'm shooting from my office. It's about training, it's about education, it's about motivation. And as the year is coming to an end, just want to give you share a book with you that has really helped me. I'm a student of personal development, and one of my mentors and teachers over the years has been Brian Tracy. And he has this powerful book. This book has really helped me. It's called The Focal Point. So I'll share my screen with you. I want to go through some few pages with you. And at the end of that, he shared a story. That story is extremely powerful. It's about where we place our focus in every area of our lives. Extremely powerful story that I don't want you to miss. So let's dive into the power of the story. I have it on Kindle as well. So I'm just sharing my screen and we tap into my Kindle book. Okay, so this is the introduction. This is the introduction. Let me just put it here. Right, okay. So this is the introduction. It says, once upon a time, there was a major technical problem at a nuclear power plant. This malfunction was slowing energy generation and reducing the efficiency of the entire operation. As much as they tried, the plant's engineers could not identify and solve the problem. So they brought in one of the nation's top consultants on nuclear power plant construction and engineering to see whether he could determine what was wrong. The consultant arrived, put on a white coat, took his clipboard, and went to work. So for the next 2 days, he walked around studying the hundreds of dials and gauges in the control room, taking notes and making calculations. At the end of the second day, he took a black felt marker out of his pocket, climbed up on a ladder, and put a large black X on one of the gauges. This is the problem, he explained. Repair and replace the apparatus connected to this meter, and the problem will be solved. He then took off his white smoke, drove back to the airport, and flew home. The engineers disassembled the apparatus and discovered that, sure enough, this was the cause of the problem. It was soon repaired, and the plant was back up to full capacity. About a week later, the plant manager received a bill from the consultant for $10,000 for services rendered. The plant manager was surprised at the size of the bill, even though this was a multi-billion-dollar facility, and the problem had been costing an enormous amount of money in lost generating capacity. After all, he reasoned, the consultant had come in, stood around for a couple of days, written a black X on one of the gauges, and then returned home. $10,000 seemed like a high fee for such a simple job. The plant manager wrote back to the consultant, "We have received your bill. Could you please break down and itemize your charges? It seems that all you did was to write one X on a single gauge. $10,000 appears to be excessive for this amount of work." Some days later, the plant manager received a new invoice from the consultant. It said, for placing X on gauge, $1. For knowing which gauge to place X on is $9,999. This simple story illustrates the most important single principle of success, achievement, and happiness in life. Knowing where to put the X in each part of our life is the critical determinant of everything you accomplish. The X is your focal point. This is the one thing you can do in that area at any given moment to get the best result possible. He says your ability, let's go back. Says your ability to choose the correct time, place, and activity to place your X on has a greater impact in your life than any other factor. Let me go back again. It says your ability to choose the correct time, place, and activity to place your X on has greater impact on your life than any other factor. So that's the story. Very powerful. I don't want to go through everything, but I'll just pick up some. The core thing that I want us to focus is coming. But that's a very powerful story that I want us to think about. It says, this part is interesting. So some days later, the plant manager received a new invoice for the consultant. It said, for placing X on gauge is just $1. So, but knowing which gauge to place X on, yes, this is extremely important. Okay, let me just, okay. So knowing which gauge to place X on. So it says this simple story illustrates the most important single principle of success, achievement, and happiness in life. This is the key. Knowing where to put the X in each part of your life. Here, let's mark it. It says, knowing where to put the X in each part of your life is the critical determinant of everything you accomplish. That X is your focal point. Let me hide this bar here. It says, this X is your focal point. This is the one thing you can do in that area at any given moment to get the best result possible. The next time I will discuss a book with you, it's called The One Thing. That's one thing I'll be doing with you very often. Like, I love reading books, personal development books. So I'll be sharing, books that have really inspired, that have really helped me transform my life. I'll share those books with you. And this is one of those books. So it says, this X is your focal point. I want you to, you can pause the video and just think about it. Knowing where to put the X in each part of your life is the critical determinant of everything you accomplish. So this X is your focal point. This is the one thing. And there's a book called The One Thing, extremely powerful book. That book really, really helped me when I started my online business. I focused only on one. I took Amazon and I focused only on one thing till I think after 2 years when I had some results, then I moved to another thing. So it's very, very important. See, this is the one thing you can do in that area. And let's talk about the areas. There's something that I talked about in the other video. It's called the 7 pillars of life. That's something I've been teaching over the years. And the 7 pillars of life, the first pillar is the spiritual pillar. The spiritual pillar, you have business, career, you have education, you have family, you have finance, you have health and fitness, and you have social life. So these are all pillars. These are all the areas. They are called the pillars that hold your life. And This is the one thing you can do in that area. So you can pick any area of your life and place your X there, the focal point. If it is finances, if it is business, pick that area, the one thing that you can do in that area. That is your focal point. So this is your focal point. This is the one thing you can do in that area at any given moment to get the best result. What is that one thing? So it says your ability to choose the correct time, place, and activity to place your X on has a greater impact on your life than any other factor. This is extremely powerful, and I've always wanted to share with you. Always wanted to share this with you. And I've shared with many people. And sorry, we have some entrepreneur Facebook groups that have shared this over the years. Very, very, very powerful. So let's go down a bit. It says, in this book, you will learn a practical, proven, and powerful process that you can apply in every area of your life, like the ones I mentioned: your spiritual, your finance, your family, your health and fitness, education, family, business, career, any of these areas, to achieve better, faster, easier results than you ever imagined possible. Just as the sun's rays focus through a magnifying glass, just as the sun's rays focus through a magnifying glass can create intense heat and fire, your intelligence and abilities focused on concentrated on a few key activities can enable you to accomplish much more than the average person can do in far less time. Let's take that again. Like I said, today we are learning as the year is coming to an end. I want you to take time, for an inventory of your life, all the areas. I'll do another video on that one. And then we'll know where to place our X, our focal point. It says, just as the sun's rays focus through a magnifying glass can create intense heat and fire, your intelligence, your abilities focused and concentrated on a few activities can enable you to accomplish much more than the average person can, and in far less time. Let me give an example. In 2015, Amazon launched their print-on-demand platform, and that was the time that we moved to Stoke-on-Trent. So when we moved, already I was into photography and website development, was developing website for clients and stuff. So I did that agency for my own agency with Duke. So that's where I trained Duke, and we used to work together till we went to uni. So I had that for 7 years, and then did videos and photography on the side. And then we moved to Stoke-on-Trent. So when we moved, the customers were in Luton. Most were local customers, and I didn't want to come back to Luton and do photography or other stuff. So it was like I ended that business after 5 years. And then when we moved to Stoke, that's when the very day that we moved to Stoke-on-Trent was the day that Amazon launched their print-on-demand business. So I joined 9 days after they launched. And it was extremely powerful, the opportunity, because before that, I was trying with Duke to sell, because we used to do our own designs, and we're planning to sell T-shirts and stuff, or put them on caps, marks. But then you have to buy everything, get inventory. We went to AliExpress, Alibaba, trying to find T-shirt manufacturers in China. We found some of them. You have to make some payment, and you don't know whether the company is legit or not. Sorry. So when we saw the Amazon opportunity that this is print on demand, that means the product is printed when there is an order. So they don't print anything if there is not an order. You don't have any inventory, you don't have any upfront capital. I was like, wow, this is powerful. So when I saw the opportunity, I dropped everything. And because we're talking about focus here, I focused solely everything on this. We had moved to a new place, so I didn't know many people there. And even the town center, I went to Stoke town center, I think after 6 months after we moved. I was at home, like sometimes 14, 16 hours. I was just focused on one thing, building my print on demand business. So because of that focus, it helped me move from, for example, the first month when I made like, I think 4 sales, $22. And in 14 months that was October. That's when I had, October was $22 because they launched in September 30th. So actually it started in October and I joined in October 9th. So that month, October 9th, I made 4 sales, which was $22. So because of this, I'm just saying this too, as my personal experience on this, when you focus on one thing. And that's when I came across that book about one thing. So after reading that book, I decided to focus, drop everything and focus on this thing to make it work. And he says, just as the sun's rays focus through a magnifying glass can create intense heat and fire, your intelligence and abilities focused and concentrated on a few key activities can enable you to accomplish much more than the average person and in far less time. So because of this principle that Brian Tracy shares, focused on it, and I was able to move the business from $22 in 14 months to $5,000 in 1 month, just in 14 months because of this. So it was after that, then I started branching off. That was after 2 years, even after 2 years before, focusing on other channels like Etsy and all those e-commerce platforms and marketplaces. So this works. This is powerful. Sometimes we've got so many things on our hands that you don't know where to place your eggs. You don't know where to focus. But as the year is coming to an end, I want you to take an inventory. I want you to sit down and I'll go through something with you at the end of this book. Not the whole book, just this introductory chapter. I want you to get something from this. I want you to just pause, watch and pause, and then take notes. This is going to change your life. All I want is the best for you in the coming years and the years ahead. I want you to unlock your potential. I want you to be in the best shape of your life in every area of your life. And I'm sharing these strategies with you to help you. So let's go. It says, just as the focused energy in a laser beam cuts through steel, your ability to choose the most vital element of any situation will enable you to perform at extraordinary levels in any endeavor. This part is powerful. Let's give it another color. Hey, I ran out of water. Yeah, my turn is coming. Fine. Good. This part, it says, just as the focused energy in a laser beam cuts through steel. You see, when I went to Germany in '89, one of the first jobs I had was working in a steel factory. I worked in a steel factory and we had to wear when those who cut glass, those who, when we go to market, those who sharpen like the machetes, knives, and you see they wear this type of glasses like goggles, so that the heat, the dust and the fire, covers their eyes. So I used to work in this steel factory, and they had this massive steel, like plates, massive, steel stuff, and they have these machines called, we used to do spare parts. So they'll bring the steel, they'll bring just like a plate like this, sometimes thick like this, but massive. The size sometimes like this, massive. And then they have these machines that they are all computerized. So they have these machines, and they have this laser beam. So sometimes you have so let's say this is the steel, yeah, and they have to cut it into like 5. So they have like 5 laser beams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they will switch it on, and they'll all go through, slowly. And then we used to work at night sometimes, and I would just just watch it, how this hardcore steel, how this small, they look like small, but the heat that comes out, they're able to cut through. So when they finish cutting it, the rough edges, that's when they will bring it to my session, and then we will just scrape it, make it nice. And when we finish, then we will just use the crane and package it. The truck will come, and they will use the crane and put it in the truck, and they'll go. And I will never forget it. So when I got this book and I was reading it, I said, yes, exactly. I could relate to it. So he said, just as the focused energy in a laser beam cuts through steel, your ability to choose the most vital element of any situation will enable you to perform at extraordinary levels in any endeavor. This is what I want for you. I want you to perform in extraordinary levels as in 2024 and beyond. I want you to go beyond where you are to where you really want to be in your life. Sometimes we put things off, we want to do this, and so many activities. That's why I'm bringing this training and sharing this with you. The focal point. I want you to watch this video over and over, and let it be part of your thinking. Also, get the book and read the whole book. It will really, really help you. So it says this book answers some of the key questions you probably ask yourself regularly. How can I get control of my time and my life? How can I achieve maximum success in my career and still achieve balance in my relationship and my personal life? How can I have it all and still be happy and fulfilled? Since we are living today in perhaps the best time in human history, there have never been more opportunities and possibilities for more people to accomplish more of their goals. And this is true. I always tell people, there's never been a time in history where it is easier to create businesses. Many people, back in the days when you want to move to Ghana, for example, move to Africa, you have to make sure you have some containers coming in, a lot of physical cash, savings before you can do these things. And then when you come, you are in Africa, you need to, start a business. And most of these businesses are capital intensive businesses, you see. And the thing is, you don't know the terrain, although you are from here, you were born here, you don't know the terrain. You've been out for so long. In my case, I was out for 33 years. Jesus spent 33 years on earth. So imagine, I was 33 years outside. That's why I said it's enough. Because my Savior even spent 3 years on earth, so it's enough. Let me go back home. Okay, so that was just by the way. So it's very, very important, you know, to acknowledge the time that we live in. There are tools, there are resources everywhere, information to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish in your life. You see, so that's why many people they move and then things get hard and then they will move back because of a lot of people they came with ideas, capital to start businesses, and then they didn't work. But back in the days, we didn't have internet. Now with internet, you can build location independent businesses, location independent incomes. And this is a game changer. There's never been a time like this in human history. You see? So that's why I always advise my brothers and sisters outside that before you move, do this, start this as part of your preparation to move. Don't just think like you are building a house and then your house is ready, I'm moving in, have some savings. No, make sure a system is built, something that will produce income for you before you move. So all these things I'm saying has been possible because of the time that we live. Now, we have AI tools helping us in many areas of our lives, in business. You see, so like he's saying, we are living today in perhaps the best time in human history. It is true. And he wrote this book some years, like, I think this book is, I think he wrote this book in 2004. Yeah. Originally published in 2002. And now, 21 years later, that time he said we are living in perhaps the best time in human history. The internet came in 1993. So what he was saying was also referring to the internet age. You see, it's hot and it's cold in Europe and America. But Ghana is really, really hot now. So he says there have never been more opportunities and possibilities for people to accomplish more of their goals. Look at YouTube. There are videos, trainings, and everything. It's a massive library. Anything that you don't do weight loss, you want to learn about crypto, I mean, whatever you want to learn, someone has got a video out there. The information is out there. But sometimes it can also be too much. That's why I'm sharing this with you, the focal point, to focus on some key activities to get extraordinary results. He says the level of affluence has never been higher. The average lifespan has never been longer. The number of options available to you has never been greater. And the world situation in terms of peace and prosperity has never been more stable. 2002. I mean, now there are some, instabilities, wars going on. But in most part, we are enjoying peace and prosperity as compared to, some time before, because even look at the internet, look at the millionaires. I know some mentors that have created a whole lot of millionaires. It was not possible back in the days to work, to live in Ghana and work for a company in the UK or Germany or the US. So this is what this means, these opportunities that we have. So he says, meanwhile, the explosion of knowledge and technology in the last few years, combined with the increasing intensity of competition in all fields, has accelerated the rate of change. So let me just go on to show you the main thing that I really want to share before we end. Here. It says, all great truths are simple. The power of focal point is that it teaches you a series of timeless truths that have been discovered and rediscovered by effective, happy people throughout the ages. You learn a new way of thinking about yourself and your world. You learn how to answer the question, what do I really want to do with my life? This is profound. This is profound. You know, sometimes we are so busy that we don't actually ask ourselves these questions. What do I really want to do with my life? You see, when COVID came and like everything was paused, and we were, let's say we had time on our hands. That's when we started a lot of reflection. That's when a lot of reflection came. You see? So sometimes you have to, if you are running fast, sometimes just slow down and ask yourself these deep questions. What do I really want to do with my life? This is one question that I asked myself when we were in the UK. Because I used to work at home before COVID came. I had some time to reflect and ask myself, I said, you know, the work that I'm doing now, actually I can do that in Ghana. Why am I here? Why can't I mean, why am I not like living the life that I really want? Because although I was working from home and stuff, sometimes it's lonely. You don't have colleagues. The kids go to school, wife goes to work. And the boys, I mean, they will be in their rooms doing their own thing. We'll meet, I mean, at dinner time, and sometimes in between we'll just be, Dwayne will be at his work. So it's most like at home, like Kofi and Duke. Kofi was working on his business, Duke too, and then we will just talk, and then, you know. So I realized that, you know, you feel sometimes lonely as an entrepreneur most of the time. And then you ask yourself, I mean, what do I really, like this question, what do I really want to do with my life? And then that time you watch a lot of YouTube videos, and that was around the COVID time and stuff. And then you see, I mean, a lot about Ghana and Africa, with the miles showing a lot, Stella, the traveling channel, and it's, then I think across Korowa's video. I've shared that video, I've talked about that before, and that got me to thinking of what she said about like moving back. And I started you know, thinking about that. And I said, one thing I said to myself, and I think one of these personal development teachers said that, you know, whether it's from Tony Robbins, this life is not a rehearsal. See, this life is not a rehearsal. This is the life that we're living. So it's not like you have this life, you die, you come back, you get another life. I remember when we came to Germany, we won't not as students, you know, Germany, the mindset was, oh, you know, sometimes even driving, learning how to drive, say, no. I will do it when I go back to Ghana. I'll do it when I go back to Ghana. So in the beginning, we're not even keen to learn some of the things like driving and stuff. You think, oh, we won't stay here for long, we'll move back home. By the time you realize you are like 20, 30 years there. You see, so we're like, the point is we're trying to put some things on hold and say, oh, when I move to Ghana, we'll do it. You see, so ask yourself, what do I really want to do with my life? Extremely powerful and deep question. And the questions below is actually what I want to do the video about, but I decided to go from the beginning and talk about the focal point so that we can get here. By the time we get here, you have a full understanding of this. You see, it says essentially there are only four things you can do to improve the quality of your life and work. One, the first thing is you can do more of certain things. You can do more of the things that are of greater value to you and bring you greater rewards and satisfaction. This part is what I've taught my students over the years. I've shared this too. So like at the end of every year, or sometimes during the year, I just go through this. I've got that in a word sheet, like 4 quadrants, more of certain things, and all this, like 4 questions. Says you can do more of certain things. Then I write more of certain things, and I list all the things there. So you can do more of the things that are of greater value to you and bring you greater rewards and satisfaction. So you have to identify the things that are of greater rewards to you, of greater value to you, and that bring you satisfaction. So if you want to be happy, like improve the quality of your life, you have to do more of certain things. So these things are the things that are of greater value to you. So you have to sit down and list those things. So take an Excel sheet, make it into 4. The first quadrant is more of certain things. Then we go to 2, do less of certain things. So do less of certain things. It says you can deliberately decide to reduce or discontinue activities or behaviors that are not as helpful or that are not as helpful as other activities and behaviors, or can actually be helpful to you in accomplishing the things you want. This is powerful. So on that piece of sheet, or Excel spreadsheet, the first quadrant, make 4 quadrants. Make a quadrant, and the first quadrant is more of certain things. The second quadrant is less of certain things. And less of certain things, it says you can deliberately decide to reduce or discontinue activities or behaviors that are not as helpful as other activities and behaviors, or can actually be helpful to you in accomplishing the things you want. Now, the third one is you can start to do things you are not doing at all today. So the first quadrant, more of certain things. The second quadrant, less of certain things. Now the third quadrant, you write, you can start to do things you are not doing at all today. Since you can make new choices, learn new skills, begin new projects or activities, or change the entire focus of your work or personal life. This is powerful. You can make new choices, learn new skills. When I do training with my students, and sometimes they are like, wow, they are like blown away by the knowledge that I share with them, by the tools and stuff. And we discuss, and it's like, I say, look at what people who are not learning, look at what they are missing. Look at what they are missing. So you can start to learn new skills. These days, when you're moving back, gone are the days when you had to, when you relocate to Africa, back in the days when you had to ship containers and stuff. These days, the containers is here. All you need is your internet and your laptop. Just 6 months ago, I got the company to do fiber optic for us. When we moved in, they came and they couldn't, because they said, although our place was like fiber optic deflate, I mean, we had access. They said we couldn't because there was no pole here at our side. So this year I went there again, because and all the time we were using mobile data. That one cost, and it's not fast like fiber optic broadband. So I went there again, and they came in, and then they laid. I put a pole there, and the technical team did everything. Give us 4 devices. Sorry, and to be honest, our internet now is even faster than when we were in the UK, in Stoke, because Stoke, we had issue with Virgin. And sometimes when you move, we have the device, the router was in the living room. But when you go to the kitchen, reception you have like disconnection. If you go outside the garden, then it's even worse. So they gave us a booster for upstairs, but it was not good. But here, we have like 4 devices, and our internet, I mean, I'm doing Zoom. I record everything over Zoom, and everything is perfect. There's no like, doesn't lag, or, internet is perfect. So you need a skill. Once you have the skill, you have your laptop, internet connection, you can live anywhere in the world and earn your money. That's the opportunities that this book was talking about. Like, we'd never have that. That has never been human history, which is true. Before the internet, you see, look at opportunities that people have now. Even remote jobs, doing freelance jobs. You can live here and make more money than somebody living abroad. I know people making 10 times the amount. They live here, 10 times the amount than people like living overseas, abroad, all because of skill. Now, AI is everywhere, artificial intelligence. My brother was top guy, like in sales. He was in Nestle, then moved to Fun Milk, and then now he's working as a CEO for a private company. So he gets a lot of, like on LinkedIn, he gets a lot of companies like sending him job offers and stuff. So he sent me this company. They were asking for, it was an AI education platform that they were building. And they were, the skill set was more AI based. And they said, if with that skill set, what they were looking for, I mean, he sent it to me to check it, whether it is legit. So I did the background check, everything. The company was legit. And they were offering $400,000 for that role. And it was 100% remote, 100% remote. So all they needed was the skill set. So, and I went to their website and I saw many jobs that they offer, somewhere 60,000. They do 100% remote. So 60,000, 100,000, doesn't matter where you live. All you need is the skill that they want. So, like he says, you can start to do things you are not doing at all today. Learn new skills. Go online and type in jobs in 2025 and see what comes up. I'll do a separate video on that one. I'll go more on this one, these 4 things. I'll do a video and then I'll use examples. We'll go more on this one. I'm just sharing this one with you. It says you can make new choices, learn new skills, begin new projects or activities, or change the entire focus of your work or personal life. Okay, let's go to live, the last one. Here. It says you can stop doing certain things altogether. You can stand back and evaluate your life with new eyes. You can then decide to discontinue activities and behaviors that are no longer consistent with what you want and where you want to go. So let's go back. It says you can stop doing certain things altogether. You can stand back and evaluate your life with new eyes. You can then decide to discontinue activities and behaviors that are no longer consistent with what you want and where you want to go. This is powerful. So the fourth quadrant, you write, you can stop doing certain things altogether. And then make it a list of the things that you think after evaluation, you can discontinue, or things that are no longer aligned to where you want to go. Because where you are now is A, and you want to go to B. So things that are not helpful, they won't help you to get there, discontinue them. Okay, guys, I hope this video has been beneficial to you. I hope it has helped you. I hope it has given you the opportunity to sit back and evaluate your life. Like I say, pause it and take notes. We'll continue. Thanks a lot. God bless. And don't forget to get his book, The Focal Point by Brian Tracy. I wish you all the best as this year is coming. Do this exercise. That's my assignment for you. The 4 things here. He said, what do I really want to do with my life? Remember, you only have one. You only want to have one. If it is relocation that you want to do it. Whatever you want to do in your life, do it, because you only have one life. This life is not a rehearsal. We are living the life that God has given us. Find your purpose and live it and be a blessing to other people. God bless you. Bye. Share this video, like and comment. Let me see your thoughts. If you want more of such training and videos, let me know and I'll do more. God bless you.